Alright guys, welcome to another episode of the Breakdown Lounge. Deconstruct and analyze your favorite music tracks, occasionally with a guest who's never heard it. Today we got Mike from the Perfect 1 Hour Podcast, who's going to be listening in with us. So we're going to get right into the track. Some of the other bands we're going to do in the future, you can see them on your screen right now. Really excited. Check the other videos we've done, and links below for the band's Spotify, our social medias, links to what we're doing, and all that good stuff. Travels with the Gypsy Lotus on Amazon right now. You've seen it in the other videos. So that's it. We're going to get right into the song. This is a track.
Don't forget the sponsor.
Oh yeah, High Noon.
High Noon decided to make an appearance.
Yeah, great.
In particular, watermelon flavor is the sponsor for this episode.
Yeah, and the black cherry was on point too. So, if you want to buy us a drink, I just put the links up there. You'll see it in the Venmo and the Patreon stuff should be down there. So, you throw us some cash, it'll go to the funds to make these videos more entertaining. So
go to the High Noon Fund.
And speaking of High Noon, this group is called STONED, and they're a Ukrainian band, a 3-piece Ukrainian kind of progressive metal kind of band is how I guess you would describe them. So with everything going on in Ukraine, this is a pretty relevant song. I've discovered this song about 3 months ago, something like that, through Kia Jeeb's great channel, reaction channel. And I've loved it ever since, and I've been listening to it over and over. It's got one of the coolest riffs ever, and I got to remember to grab my guitar. I'll play it. But really cool song.
Stoned Jesus or Stone Jesus?
Stone Jesus.
Like stoned, like... Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to High Noon.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shout out to Jesus, too.
Shout out to Jesus.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll get right into it.
Let's do it.
We'll check it out. So this is Stone Jesus. The song is called I Am the Mountain. Let's do it. By the way, we got the fans on. Apologies for that, but it's super hot. We're in San Diego right now.
It's a little hot.
That's why we're dressed up really nice.
It feels familiar.
It's because I was playing it a second ago.
Oh, okay, that's right. No, but it feels familiar outside of that. Sunglasses and a cigarette.
Yeah, it's like desert rock music. Like,
it's so good.
Just cruise with it.
Oh yeah. Convertible. It's really tasty.
So what do you think for the opening there?
Oh,
Huge
man.
build up. I mean, that riff is that's an open C tuning, which if you can hand me it, I'll demonstrate for the people. But and that guitar pick right there to your right.
Yeah.
But we start off with this just acoustic build up, and I've got my notes here, of course. But so drop C, and the drums are way pulled back. We have these mono tracks, and everything's just kind of light and easy going in. And then it swells after, several measures. I mean, they take the time to really build it up, and then we get that guitar that comes in with this.
It starts with a cigarette.
Yeah,
it starts with like a Marlboro Red.
If they came up with it any other way, with it where it started out that way, I don't think I'd believe it.
You wouldn't believe it, but it's a convertible, long hair, sunglasses, a cigarette.
Yeah, top down.
Fear
and Loathing in Las Vegas.
But then it ramps up, and it becomes a John Wick killing montage.
Yeah. And a lot of people call this kind of stuff like stoner metal, stoner rock, because it's very progressive in the sense of it's taking its time to build up this thing. And even though it gets really heavy with all the distortion and stuff, you still have that underlying like rocking kind of like the vibe on it is still chill. It's gotten louder, but it's still relaxed. You're still vibing. You're still cruising down the highway with the top down and acid in the briefcase.
Makes you want to just donate $500 to the Ukrainian military now.
It does. I mean,
you guys should. They still need our aid.
Notes of the sea. There's something hypnotic about it that's almost like Led Zeppelin Cashmere.
It's a good thing there's no ladies here.
Yeah.
They'd have their tops off.
We would have to stop this video.
Yeah.
But it's a great tune. I mean, I feel like literally, this is one of the coolest riffs I've heard in the past decade.
It's an excellent riff. Mm-hmm. It's an excellent riff. It's an extremely I think it's very cinematic.
It is.
I think that the whole song, you could cut the song a whole bunch of different ways, and you could have something that's smooth and cool, or something that's, dare I say, violent. Mm-hmm. You could put together a really awesome montage, whether it's skateboarding, fight sequence. Like with that ramp up, you can do anything you want.
And I mean, this has been like the first 2.5 minutes, and we've just heard these 4 measures of this build up coming. So we still have a whole nother section to get into.
Great song.
And as you can tell, we're about to like shift gears and kind of go into a new territory. So let's hop right back in.
So we kind of drop down.
Yeah. This bass in our ears here, just kind of low, a little bit of reverb, but there's a lot of reverb on these tracks. The drums kind of working in slowly. We're gonna hear some more like echo effects from the guitar and the vocals.
Now it's sort of like the Curious Spy. Mm-hmm. This is the Curious Spy. That's how I would say this is. Mm-hmm. It's the spy, but he's curious.
And once we get into another break, I'll kind of talk about where it makes me feel based on the lyrical content of what's within it, because I'll piece together that more. But it is very cool to go from that big cinematic thing to all of a sudden you start with the bass notes. And I'm sorry that we're talking all over this right now, but the bass notes kind of building up from there, the drums sporadically throughout.
It's the way that I survive. I'm the mountain, tell my tale. The greatest story is now for sale. I'm the seaside, I'm the waves. I'm the one that makes you crave. I'm the valley, I'm the hills. Look at me, I'm standing still.
So how are you feeling right now based on where that song just took us?
Oh man.
We still have that laid back vibe, right? We're still cruising down the highway.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on a desertous road. We've got all the space and time in the world, it feels like.
We absolutely do. What's remarkable is you go from I'm surprised it's all one song.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have that intro, which is cool as can be, top down like we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets pretty intense, and then it mellows out again. You've got these deep lyrics. The guy happens to say mountain instead of mountain, which I like. And then and you've got this very mellow. The music's very mellow, but then you get these drum beats that are some of the beats come in like half a beat off.
They're sporadic,
You
and
get
they're
some sporadic drum beats.
There's from the very beginning where we start off with the bass, which bass being kind of the origin of sound and deep resonance, and it kind of starts off, it feels like the beginning of something. I feel like we're on a steady trajectory from the very beginning of what builds up. We get this explosion, and all of a sudden it drops down, and we're starting from nothing, the bass basically.
Yeah.
And then these drums come in sporadically.
This segment's
and
all about
inconsistently.
the drums.
The guitar brings life and melody, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like Earth being reborn. I feel like we've gone through some sort of rebirth period, and these things are building up, and he's saying these words, which his vocals and the guitar and the vocals are very reverb heavy and echo. We can kind of hear as when he speaks, it echoes out. It feels so much space. Everything about this track screams space. And then he's talking about, I am the valley, I am the hills, look at me, I'm standing still. And it's this kind of testament to just like eons passing us by as we listen into this track, and I'm seeing imagery of the world being reborn and coming to life, and more elements musically get put in and build upon, creating life and creating this new world that's before us.
You're seeing a lot.
Yeah, a lot of imagery, I feel like, in this.
You may have smoked a J. I've just been drinking.
Hey,
So-
I mean, high noons or high weed.
High noons. Who's the judge?
Yeah.
Who's the judge?
So sounds like something you rip the bong to and cruise very slowly, responsibly with the top down through the desert.
I
And
wish
it's a
I
long
would have
bullet.
taken a hit of something before listening to this.
We can make that happen for you, Mike. So
Certainly the second part of this.
Mhm.
I would have got quite paranoid with that montage sequence, like where it got really intense.
yeah,
I would got paranoid as fuck.
Sure.
But now it's mellowed out, and I'm like,
'Cause
I could take a hit.
this
and
isn't
enjoy
your
this.
pop song. This is a journey through the mind and soul kind of thing. You're gonna go on
It is quite the journey.
There's dark and light, and you're gonna feel all of it in between. That's kind of how I feel.
it is all the feels.
And it's picking up, and then it's brought us back down, and now we're kind of starting from
kind of
another
ramp back up.
ramping back up.
We
to
got
something.
we got the guitar coming in, adding a little bit of character.
Yeah.
You got the sporadic drums that kind of almost led into not quite a drum solo, but you started getting a little bit more snare in there.
Yes, the rhythm picks up and gives us something that feels constant. We're back in like the rock headbangers territory where that erupts, and like maybe this is a part where going back to my imagery of things of like where chaos is beginning to happen again, thunderstorms,
You
apocalyptic
pick up
stuff.
an axe. You pick up an axe.
If axes are even around at this point.
Yeah, you're going to battle with Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's see where the rest of the
let's see
journey
where it
takes
goes.
us.
Let's see where it goes.
I didn't expect us to get this heavy in commentary, but this is great.
Yeah,
This
let's
is
go.
Cool.
Let's go for it.
Up top there.
I'm the walker
Cheers.
on the field. I am who you want to be. I'm the reason
I Am the Mountain by Stone Jesus. Wow.
Wow. It really, there's so many elements to it. It almost feels like a jam session.
It is.
It feels like a jam session where they just happen to throw some lyrics to it, because it doesn't feel, it feels like...
It feels like that riff is eternal. Like it just goes and goes.
The riff continues,
mm-hmm.
but the pieces are very different throughout the full song. You're
mm-hmm.
getting a much different story throughout the full song.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels, without the riff, it would just feel disjointed,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a beautiful song, though.
Yeah.
The riff kind of comes in big at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
it brings you back to acoustic. It's like where we started. The trajectory is reversed, and in between that, it's kind of like Pink Floyd's "Shine On You Crazy Diamond." You know, it's like a 20-minute song. They cut it in half, and they put 3 other long songs to make a whole album. "Wish You Were Here," and that kind of is what it feels like with this song. It's got this huge ascend, a story in the middle that also has 2 like ascending kind of storylines. It kind of starts out low, picks up. We have that solo where the guitarist, I think I used to know the part, but it's really doom 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 boom 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 boom.
I wanted to touch on
mm-hmm.
when he says, "I am the mountain." Emphatically, I felt as though we ascended to at least Super Saiyan Stage 3. If not stage 4.
And how about when he screams that he's the mountain?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's the part you're talking about.
Yeah. When he hits that part, it is.
Yeah,
it's intense.
And it kind of takes you by surprise. I don't know if they cut a measure out or something like that, but it's like, but you know, they're building up and it's getting a little bit, but they just started doing it like 2 measures ago. Then all of a sudden, it's I am the mountain.
That's the highest. That's the apex of anybody's being.
Yeah,
that's the peak of their transformation. Is right there.
That's, him gone through the journey.
That's Charmander to Charmeleon to Charizard.
The whole spectrum.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is Charizard. You get the final stage.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy in the gym that just squatted 450.
Yeah.
But
took the chick home.
And he took the chick home, but you saw him at the beginning,
mm-hmm.
just like getting ready, showing up in his Pinto, getting ready, smoking the cig,
mm-hmm. with the top down.
With the top down,
mm-hmm.
and then you see the montage that is his life, all of this, all the struggle, and then here he is, a realized man or a realized woman.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? I don't know.
Anybody is qualified to be the mountain. I feel like I'm the mountain after this song.
I think that we're all the mountain after this song.
Yeah.
It's excellent, but I love that. I love that you're really getting if you think about this, say like a house EDM. EDM. You have the Golden Gate Bridge. You have the build. You have the peak and the drop. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same thing. We have the mellow, the riff leading up to what I would consider the music, the intense music for the montage, the killing montage. It drops, gets mellow again. I am the mountain, and then it drops again.
Right.
So very similar.
Even
to
the imagery of climbing over something. This song has various valleys of hills and peaks until you get to the mountain.
Yeah. It's a Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Lots of music, different genres of music use that same style,
mm-hmm.
but he just told, within his sequence, he told probably 7 different stories.
Yeah,
which is really cool to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I almost needed a those LED lights that'll change colors.
Yes.
if we had one of those in the background that just slowly changed colors as we got to these different story segments,
Okay.
I would just feel just so at peace.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've said all we can. I mean, this is an epic song. It's incredible. These guys, for a three-piece, they're a pretty young group, too. You know, and again, shout out to, you know, everybody in Ukraine. I hope these guys and their families and everybody else are safe. So definitely check the links below, see their Spotify. And Mike, thanks for joining me on
You're
the
welcome.
journey. Definitely check out the 1 hour perfect 1 hour podcast.
The 1 Hour Perfect podcast.
1 hour perfect
with Mike
podcast.
and Mark.
Yeah, he's a
And
funny guy. It's a good thing going.
Yeah, we don't break down music the way that you do. I don't know if we've ever mentioned a song on the podcast. We talk about a lot of films, a lot of TV shows, but this is
Maybe you'll have something to talk about this week.
I think I will. I think this is great. We've
Yeah.
obviously had you on the podcast to talk about your book, so I appreciate you returning the favor and having me on here for the Breakdown Lounge. This has been great.
Yeah, well, now that I know you like 80s music, that's going to really give me a new arsenal to find tracks that you can dig into. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
thanks everybody for listening, viewing it. If you're still here, thank you. Comment, let us know you're still here. We love you. We appreciate you for it. Check the links below for all of
Throw
our
some
stuff.
money in the High Noon Fund.
Get some more high new funds, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Adios.
Play them out with the track.
Play 'em out.
We'll fade to black here.